All right. Next question here coming in from, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but next here, question coming in for, sorry for tagging you, could you make a video about crosshair placement and how to effectively practice it? Ah, yes, it wouldn't be a Valorant improvement channel if I didn't make a video or talk about crosshair placement in some respect. Now, I'm booting up the game here just to sort of illustrate my point here. And yes, this is an alt account. This is not my main account. Ignore the fact that it's gold 3 right now. We don't talk about it. But in my opinion, the best way to practice crosshair placement is to go on a map like Haven. And just to go around and find the spots on the map that correlate with head level. And I will, I'll just go right in here, why not? But, just find the spots on the map that correlate with head level. And if you can find all the spots on Haven, which is a very diverse map with a lot of different spots and a lot of different places that are paralleled in a lot of other maps, you'll start to notice patterns with where head level is. And while this is loading, yeah. Alright, boom. So, at this point, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be basically going around the map, and you're going to be just working on pre-aiming as if you were entering sight. Now, this doesn't have to be Haven. This can be any map that you want, but I like to do Haven just because of how diverse it is. So imagine here that you were entering on A, and you are just imagining in your head that there is an enemy anywhere that you would put your crosshair. So what this is going to do is this is going to help you to like really get a grasp of where head level is, and also to look for these little markers. Like, notice how here on this box there's this line on the box here. Anytime that there's a double stack of boxes like this, the middle part is always going to be head level. Not directly on the line, but just slightly below it. That is where head level is going to be for this plane. And then what you can do is you can see that there's a ramp here, so you can draw a diagonal from this box in your head, and boom, that's also head level right here. And then as you're going, see there's another double box right here, so now I know that that's head level for hell. As I'm clearing sight, I still have this mental image in my mind of that box right there. As I'm going and as I'm clearing sight, I'm running like this, boom, head level right there. And what you want to do is you just want to go and you just want to practice just AD swinging angles, but always making sure that your crosshair is at head level and using these markers right here. That is one singular part of crosshair placement, and that's really for players who are either new to the game or have been playing for a while but haven't really decided to take it seriously yet. This is the best way to start learning proper crosshair placement, is by going around the maps and just AD swinging angles, acting like you're clearing it in a real game. You can even practice like your pre-fires as well. You can pre-fire the common spots, but really just run around AD swing angles and do this. Now that's on attack. We can do the same thing for a retake. I'll fly over to C here. But say you're retaking the site on C, you can practice seeing, you know, what angles you have to clear. So now I know that I have to clear this. Boom, I have to clear behind the box. Swing logs here. I go here. I'm clearing back site, black platform. I would probably wallbang this. If I'm clearing this, I clear this. I'd ADS here because this is going to be a long range fight. Go here, and then boom, I've just practiced my entire C retake. And obviously the more you do this, the faster and smoother you'll get. This is the first time I've been on today, so my like mouse movements aren't super snappy like they normally would be if I was properly warmed up. But even then, you'll see that if you just have that knowledge of the game, you can still do it based off of muscle memory, but also just based off of map knowledge and game knowledge. And just to really round this out, I'll also do this on B as well. So say that I'm attacking B from mid, I would be clearing this angle, I would be clearing close like this. I'd be clearing, make sure that there's nothing heaven. Head level for heaven right there. Boom. Boom, right here. I'm using this part of the wall, like this little painting here at the top of the painting. That's a reference for head level on Haven. We'll clear like this. There's the box right there. Notice how I didn't even see the box, but my crosshair is already there just because of map knowledge. Boom. Crosshair's right there. I'm clearing that. I accidentally jumped because I have jump bound to my side mouse button for some reason. Boom, there's head level right there. And really what you want to do is you want to go through all the maps and just look through this, but you'll also start to notice patterns. The second way that you can practice crosshair placement is by in games run swift plays, right? And I'm gonna what's it called? I'm gonna play a swift play here just to like really accentuate my point, I guess. You want to go into a swift play or a spike rush or something, and what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at your teammates' heads. Don't worry about strategy. I'm probably going to bot frag this game, in all honesty, because I'm not going to be strategizing or I'm not going to be doing anything and I'm not warmed up. But you really want to hard focus. If your goal is to get really good crosshair placement, your goal here is to hard focus on your teammates' heads. Because every single player model in Valorant is the same height regardless of agent. So if you look at your teammates' heads as you're walking around site, or as you're walking around the map, you will always have a reference for where head level is. So say one of my teammates goes mid, and I don't know the crosshair placement spot for vents, for example. What I would do is I would let my teammate go first, and I would see, oh, their heads lining up around yay high on vents, and then you would put your crosshair there. And again, in this swift play, I will also be explaining some other thought process things, but in this swift play, I will be solely focusing on crosshair placement, and that is it. I'm playing Reyna so that I don't have to worry about any like utility, and this is a pretty low level lobby, so I should be able to stomp these guys pretty easy. And if I get tapped by an iron player, I will cry everywhere. And we have 2 people on the enemy team that are currently afraid of women. That is always a good sign. But again, we're just gonna wait for this to load up. So a game is starting right here. Immediately what I'm doing is I'm looking at my teammates' heads right here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my crosshair placement to pre-aim right here. And this is the drill that I want you to practice, using your teammates' heads as reference as well as map geometry. So I know that this box right here is head level. If I line up with this box right here and I move my crosshair horizontally here, I know that this is head level. So in theory, if I hold this and someone swings and my reaction time is good and I'm not the washed piece of garbage that I am, I should be able to tap them easily.
I guess I'll just come over there then.
I'm not going to be listening to my teammates. I'm focused on crosshair placement. Boom. If someone swings me here, then they die. Boom. See? Head's always on head level. Boom. Right there. Dead. Boom. Right there. Dead. Like, you see how it is. I saw that his leg was there, so I just pre-aimed there like that. Just like such. Again, I'm clearing sight. I'm clearing sight properly. Someone shot my clone from heaven, so I know that there's someone heaven. I fight the heaven guy. Omen's dinked. I know that one body shot from the Omen, and he's dead. That's another thing about crosshair placement that you have to realize. If they're low HP, don't go for the headshot. Just go for the body shot. Boom, right here. I know the last one's heaven, and my team just cleans up the round, just like such. But again, this is a relatively easy lobby. Really, all things considered, this isn't too much of a challenge, but this is just something that you really have to focus on. When you're doing your practice, is you always want to practice intentionally. You never want to be autopiloting in your practice. You don't want to be blasting music. You don't want to be watching a video on the side. If you're genuinely trying to improve at something in the game, you want to have intentional, focused practice. Another example here, I am going to swing vents here. I'm not even going to use any utility. I'm just going to hard focus on my crosshair placement. There's a line here, slightly above this line is head level right here. If I let my ISO go first, you'll see that his head lines up almost perfectly right above that line, like I said. We're shift walking right now. I hear a guy heaven. I'm going to hold for his swing. Boom, he's dead. Crosshair placement was a little bit off there. I did go for body shots, but that's another thing. Boom, right there. Notice how I'm taking proper gunfights. I could have sprayed him down there, and I probably would have won that. But I'm trying to illustrate proper crosshair placement. Slightly below this line is head level. I'm thinking slightly below this line is head level. And as I clear these angles properly, I don't even care what my team's doing. My team's playing the objective, and I'm just focused on crosshair placement right now. This is a swift play. Remember, this is a Swift play, and we are not worried about winning. We're not worrying about proper strategy. We're not worrying about proper Valorant. We're solely focused on our crosshair placement. I'm using my teammate's head as reference right here for what head level is behind screens. I know the head level's right here because it's slightly above this gray part of the box, and my team cleans up the round. I'm 6-0. Now notice how I bought a shorty here. Your crosshair placement will also differ based off of what weapon you're using. If I'm using a Vandal, I'm going to be aiming for headshots, and if they're low, I'm going to be aiming for body shots. If I'm using a shorty, however, and I'm sitting inside of a smoke, I'm not going to be aiming for a headshot. Because notice, if I just spam my teammate here, how many of my bullets are actually hitting them if I aim for the head? None. But if I aim for the body, the majority of the bullets hit. So with shotguns at close range, you aim for the body. Again, I'm using this box as reference for head height. I get blind by the Yoru, I assume that someone's in the smoke, I spam it, I see 3 on sight. Now if this was ranked, I would be rotating right now, but this is not ranked, this is Swift play. There was a guy in the corner, I didn't properly clear that corner, I got outplayed by the Omen, unlucky. Now Woohoojin went over this in one of his videos, so if you want, he explains it probably far better than I ever could. But the essence of it is, say you're holding an angle right here, and you want to hold either tight or you want to hold wide, and there's an infinite amount of space where they can swing you. The chance of them jiggling is about like 20%, but the chance of them being out wide is like 80%, because people like to wide swing in this game. So it's always better to hold wide than close, because it's always better to flick here where there's a finite amount of space where you have to flick, instead of here where there's a, in theory, infinite amount of space where you have to flick. I could not have gotten a better map for this crosshair placement drill, because Split has so many spots where it's just crosshair placement, hold, point, and click. And in this one, it's dead zone, point, and click. I'm going to be pre-aiming for right here, and sometimes if you want to pre-aim an angle at the start of the round and you want to set up a pre-fire for yourself, but you don't have the game knowledge to know where it is through a wall, ping the center of the angle, put your crosshair on the ping, and then where you know the head level is. And right now I know that this line on the box is in fact head level, so I'm drawing a horizontal line from this box to this ping right here. Now I'm going to swing out, and if they're there, I'm going to dead zone and dismiss out. Watch. Boom, dead zone. See, even then, if he did not buy shields, I get the kill there. If I had a sheriff, I get the kill there. But notice how it did a 105, he bought light shields, unfortunate. Notice how this Raze had good crosshair placement as well and tapped me with the sheriff. That was weapon diff. But notice even then, the second I swung out, by using the reference of the line on that box, which there's a bunch of boxes all over the map that show you where good crosshair placement spots are. Notice how using the line on the box and also the ping thing with the pre-fire, I got a free pre-fire off, and I domed the Yoru right in his big stupid head. But notice how all throughout that game, I wasn't focused on strategy, I wasn't focused on anything. I was just focused on my crosshair placement, using teammates' heads and using map geometry as reference for crosshair placement. Now, I know that this took 2 to 3 business days to explain, but I hope that this answers your question of how do I effectively practice crosshair placement. That is exactly how you do it. Do that, and I guarantee you, you will be chilling.